everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making these beautiful stemless wine glasses with these lovely name decals on them. I'm doing it in two colours. I'm using a chrome rose gold and a black vinyl here for this one, and I'm going to make two today, I think. So I've already made the one, and then I've got another one that I want to do for the video. This one is actually for one of Shelby's teachers, because she's in year 11. She's going to be leaving in a couple of weeks when she finishes her GCSEs, and her English teacher has been such a lovely help to her this year and has really helped her to get through. So we've made her a nice glass, and I thought I'd make a video because you might want to make something similar. So let's jump straight into making this lovely glass. Let's just quickly run through the design portion of this video. So this is the design that I've done on that glass that you've just seen with Amy. I'm just going to ungroup this a second and move that out of the way so that we can concentrate on this letter. So this is just a Times New Roman A, and the size is about 7 by 7 square. That size will be different depending on what letter you use, because obviously the letters are all different. If I go back onto text on the right hand side, and I'm going to do this one for Shelby. So let's just have a quick look at this. If I were to make this S the same size as that, because of the dimensions of the S and the fact that it's a lot of a longer letter, it's going to be absolutely huge. So we don't want that. So we're going to have to make it a little bit smaller. I reckon it's going to be fine at about that. Let's just check. That says 6.7. This is 6.2, so we can go a bit further. Let's do that. Now I'm going to just change my colour to black, just to match the vinyl that I'm going to use. And I'm using scrap vinyl today, so I'm going to just use a piece of rose gold for the next one. So now I'm going to grab another text square, and I'm going to just delete that and type in the name that I'm going to be using. And then what I'll do is come up to the top and change my font here to Brittany, and this is a font that I got on defont.com. It is a personal use only font, and because this is a gift for somebody, it's okay to use. Okay, so now that we've got Shelby on the screen there, what I'm going to do is just tilt it slightly, just using this rotate handle. And then I can put it on there, and I can mess about with my sizing, although that looks pretty good. Maybe make it a fraction smaller, and then we can change the colour of that if we want to as well. So because it's going to be rose gold, I'm going to make it into that pink. Okay, so let's just hide these ones. If I group those together and just hide that group. So now I've got this one, and that's the size it's going to be. So I can group that together now, and we can go through to make it. And as expected, it's come onto two different mats, a black mat and a pink mat. So first of all, we're going to start off by cutting this S, and then we'll cut out the Shelby. So I'll do that now, and then I'll come back to you when I'm ready to weed. Okay, so we're through to the make it screen, and as expected, it's come through onto two mats. We've got the black mat for the S, and then this pink mat for Shelby. If we click on continue, it's just going to find my machine. I'm using Bluetooth today. I'm just going to click back onto that black mat first of all. This is one of the reasons why I don't like using Bluetooth, because it's really slow to connect. On the screen then, now it's found my maker. I've decided to switch over to the other one, which is plugged in, just to make it a little bit easier because Bluetooth was not cooperating. I'm going to choose the holographic sparkle vinyl today to cut out this chrome vinyl, and then for the black I'm going to use the premium outdoor vinyl. So first of all, we're going to cut the black one using premium outdoor vinyl, so let's get that done, and then I'll cut out this one using holographic sparkle as my setting. Let's just set up our mat. So I've got my black scrap here, and both of the vinyls I'm using today are permanent vinyls. This is the black, and then this is my rose gold piece, and these are just offcuts from balloons that I've done recently. So what I'm going to do is just get my mat, and I'm going to pop this black piece up in that corner just there. I'm going to use my brayer to bray it down, and then what I'm going to do in the opposite corner is I'm going to put my piece of rose gold, and then all I'll need to do when it comes to cutting is just flip my mat, so I won't need to worry about using two separate mats. It's just going to cut through quite quickly and it will save me a little bit of time. Just before I start the weeding, I'm just going to clean my glass. This glass is a stemless wine glass. It's from IKEA, and this is what it says on the bottom. It doesn't have a name on it, but that is the product code just there. I'll have a quick look actually before I finish this video off, and I'll pop in the name of it if I can find it for you. But I really like these glasses. I think they're nice. They are quite thin, so you will need to be careful with it. I'm going to just use one of my Fast Aid alcohol wipes just to clean the glass, just to get off any oils or any debris or dirt or anything like that is on there. And I'm going to just go over the whole of it because I'm not sure whereabouts I'm going to actually put my decal today. So let's get that nice and clean, and then I'll just pop that to one side whilst I do the weeding of the vinyl. Today, to do my weeding, I'm going to be using this. It's my new toy and I absolutely am in love with it. This is the Cricut True Control kit, and it just comes as one sort of pen piece, and you can see on the bottom it's got like this hole in it, and then you get these 4 different tips. So you've got the knife, 2 weeding tools with the hooks on the end, and then the straight one, and all you do is just get the end and you pop it onto the piece that you want to use and just pull it out, and then at the top you've got this little thing that you turn to lock it or to unlock it. I usually just leave it unlocked, and then when you want to get it out you just pop it back into there and just press the end and it pops out. So easy to use, and I really love it at the moment. I've had it about a week so far. Right, so let's weed these letters. So I've got my S this end, and you can see just there where I lifted that vinyl before I ejected it from the mat, just to check that it was actually cut nicely and it was perfect. So let me just pull that out of there, and then I'm just going to actually cut that off at the bottom. So I'm going to use that other piece for another letter. And then I've got this side here, which is my lettering to go across the top. So I'm just going to actually grab my True Control knife piece, and I'm going to just cut around that very quickly, but carefully as well. This knife is so sharp, it's crazy. Then pop that back into there and press the end off. Let's get that one back on. Right, let's pull this up, and this should weed quite nicely actually. It usually does. I absolutely adore this vinyl. It is one of the best vinyls I've ever used, and I use it on balloons quite a lot because it's so super shiny. The only thing you've got to be really careful of is if you are burnishing, don't use a hard scraper because it will scratch it. So make sure to always use a brayer. These pieces are so tiny that are in these little letters. Get rid of those. There we go. Okay, that is done. Look at that E. Very tiny piece there. Right, so now we're ready to pop this onto our glass. Now we're ready to apply onto our glass. So we've got our black letter, our piece to go over the top, and then I've got 2 pieces of transfer paper. And this is the light tack transfer paper that I like to use for most of my projects. And these pieces have been used before, so they are a little bit lighter tack than even normal. So I'm just going to go over these with my scraper and just give them a good press down just to make sure that they are adhered to that as well as I can get them, and then just turn that over and get that off. And it's super duper easy now just to apply this on. I tend to just do it by eye. Some people put a piece of tape or a piece of vinyl around the glass so they get it straight. I just tend to like to do it by eye, so If this one comes out a bit wonky now, you'll know why. But I don't tend to worry too much about it. And then what I'll do, now I've got that in place where I want it, what you'll want to do is kind of leave this piece unstuck and then do the pressing down on the top part and then work your way around the letter. And it doesn't matter if you wrinkle the transfer paper, that really doesn't matter at all. You want to wrinkle that rather than your vinyl. So now I've got that mostly adhered. The only bit that isn't stuck on is the tail of this S here. But what I'm going to do is just peel back my transfer paper so that it frees up that corner, and then I can press that down so it stays really nice and smooth. And we've got no bubbles at all in that vinyl now, as you can see, and it's really nicely stuck onto that glass. Now I'm going to do the same with the name. Let's just get this transfer paper onto here. If you want to, if it makes it easier for you, you can cut some little slits into this transfer paper and just create some little relief cuts, and sometimes that does make it easier to adhere vinyl to this sort of shape. So I'm just going to go over this again with my scraper. Now, because I use the holographic vinyl setting, I forgot I'd switched over my Cricut and I was using a different one, and I've got a feeling that it may have cut into the backing paper a little bit. If it has, it's no big deal. Just going to shrink that piece down a touch. All it means is that I'm going to take a little bit more time to get the backing paper off of this and get this stuck down onto my transfer paper, because it's cut into there and it may just be stuck a little bit more than I want it to be. But I'll just utilise my weeding tool to help me a little bit. Let's just get, there's a tiny bit of vinyl on there, let's just get rid of that a second. So I'm just going to lift it up using my weeding tool and just peel it back really slowly and gently. I should have given it less pressure. You can see there how it's cut through the backing paper, because it's a brand new blade in that machine. That is why. That just goes to show how settings differ between machines as well. If you have this issue, just take your time. Don't rush. There's no rush at all. Okay. You can use the letter as well to pull it away from itself, which also helps. So that is now stuck nicely onto there. So now what we're going to do is apply this onto our glass. So again, I'm just doing it by eye, but because it's going on at an angle anyway, it's not too big of a deal. Make sure that you press down the centre first and then make your way out across your lettering one way. This is exactly the same technique that I use when I'm doing a balloon. There we go, and all the way over to that side. Give it a good press down, and then you can start to peel away your transfer paper. There we go. It's very difficult to see actually, isn't it? Let me see if I've got something I could put into this glass so that it makes it a little bit easier to see. I've got a tissue here, I think. Ooh. Back in the place, let's put a tissue inside it. There you go. Now you can see that a little bit better. How stunning does that look? And it's such an easy project to do. With this vinyl now, I will let this cure for about 72 hours before using it. And I will also make sure that the people that we are giving these glasses to know not to put them in the dishwasher and just to hand wash them gently and not to let them soak. Sometimes it's a nice idea to put a little bit of a care instruction card attached to your gift. It just makes sure that the people know, because they might not be listening, they might be excited to receive a present, and it's nice to have something for them to refer back to afterwards. So that is today's project. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, drop me any questions or comments that you might have down below, and don't forget to hit the like button. I love to hear from you, and I do always try to respond personally to any comments that I get on my videos as quickly as possible. All that's left to be said then is have a great week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye.